What is up, everybody? About to get the Dre Mac podcast show started. So just give me a second. Let me go ahead and get everything going here. This is the I'm gonna do a Friday recap, which that means it's not gonna be a long podcast. So just to let y'all know. So just give me a second. Hopefully everybody's doing well out there. It's the only thing that sucks about doing this from your phone because I'm trying to do something and it won't let me do it. Literally, I'm trying to do something and it won't let me do it. What's up, Rico? What's up, Risen? Come on now. There we go. Dang, that's the only thing I wanted to do. Bingo. Now, let me get up out of here. Get up out of there. Get back to what we were doing here in stream, y'all. All right. So we're ready to get this thing started today. My brother said they finally let your boy have a driver's license again. That's what's up. I gotta get myself renewed. This is mine ends on my birthday in 2 weeks. So anyway, so today is going to be the Friday recap show. So I'm going to talk about really the top stories of this week. Uh, so we're going to talk about, Rico wanted to talk about the Chiefs with their unity booing. So I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Candace Owens versus Cardi B. I'm also talking about the Trump tape. So without further ado, let's get this thing cracking. Yeah. You just reached the hottest podcast in your ear right now. This is the Dre Mac Show. Now, without further ado, here is your host, Dre Mac. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's going on, everybody? This is your man Dre Mac with another episode of the Dre Mac podcast show. Today is the Friday recap show, where I'm just going to talk about some of the top stories that went on this week. And today is September 11th. And of course, we need to, this is one of those days where, we look back on what happened on September 11th and that still affected a lot of people. And my brother's on because I'm streaming on Facebook and on YouTube via StreamYard. So what's up to everybody on YouTube? What's up to everybody that's on Facebook right now? Make sure you guys give me a like, a thumbs up. Make sure that you drop in comments in the comment section so I can be able to put them on and read them off. But I remember on September 11th, me and my brother was working at a telemarketing place along with my homegirl Florice, and we were calling people in New York at that time when everything was going on. So but the thing is that and I'm gonna be honest, we're told to never forget about September 11th, but anytime Black people start talking about the things they went through in the past, people like, you need to get over that. Now, it'd be wrong if I said all buildings matter today. All towers matter. All centers matter. You see how ridiculous that sounds? See, Black people had to be able to suppress what they go through, But we America tells you, we need to, think about what happened on September 11th. But when we bring up George Floyd, we bring up Breonna Taylor, we bring up Jacob Blake, we bring up Ahmaud Arbery, we bring up Trayvon Martin, we bring up Austin Sterling, we bring up Philando Castile. Do you see the running? The running narrative right here? When we bring those people up to say, nah, you know what I'm saying, get over that. So it wasn't surprising when the Kansas City Chiefs played the Houston Texans last night in a good victory. It was a 34-20 victory. The Kansas City Chiefs basically dominated the majority of the game. But at the beginning of the game, they played Lift Every Voice to Sing. So if you wasn't watching the pregame, you would never see them doing the Lift Every Voice to Sing. You never even hear that. Then they did the national anthem, which to me, I don't care about the pandering towards Black people, honestly. The Lift Every Voice to Sing. You don't even have to do all that. You don't have to take a knee. You don't have to stand up. You don't have to do any of that. I think that's still pandering towards the problem and not actually fixing the actual problem. But when the Houston Texans and the Kansas City Chiefs decided their two captains, Pat Mahomes, which is now the face of the league, and Deshaun Watson, which is starting to get in that upper echelons as far as quarterbacks, they decided to bring their teams together, lock arms, and for a moment, just a moment of silence, 10 seconds, 15 seconds of silence to bring unity. And they had a list of 7 things that they wanted to address, which one of them was in racism. And some of the fans in the Chiefs started booing. Now, of course, everybody knows I'm a Chiefs fan. But it doesn't surprise me. You know why it doesn't surprise me? Because I live in Kansas City. And I follow, Channel 4 News, Channel 5 News, Channel 9 News, local, the local syndicate news stations, ABC, NBC, and Fox. You know what I mean? Follow their Facebook page and see the comments that are made on these pages by people that don't look like me, even some that do look like me. So it wasn't surprising because just recently, Kansas City decided to put Black Lives Matter murals. You know what I'm saying? 6 murals all through the city, which is nice or whatever. And still, to me, I don't care about that gesture. That's cool. That's dope. That's awesome. But it doesn't fix the problem of systemic racism and police brutality. What it really does, it just exposes people who really hate that. And I had to bust a lady upside her dome who was on one of these Fox News or Channel 4 News or whatever. You know what I'm saying, on one of these things, and she's starting to talk about, you guys are following these ghetto stereotypes, and you don't care about Black Lives Matter because you don't care about yourselves killing each other. But this is the problem. I said, you sound like an intelligent person that made a sensible comment on this page. But have you ever taken the time out to go into one of these inner city neighborhoods to talk to anybody in that neighborhood before you start talking about ghetto stereotypes? Before you start talking about people who kill each other, you're not looking at the 87% of white men who kill other white people. You're not looking at that. You're not looking at the disparity when it comes to incarceration. When you still have 87% of white collar crimes being committed by white people, you still have the number of rape charges that's on the rise from our white counterparts compared to our Black counterparts. But yet the disparity in the actual judicial system, you know what I'm saying, is 7-1. So every 7 Black people, there's 7 Black men that's in jail. It's 1 white man in jail. Even though they and the majority of these people that's in jail are for non-violent offenses. But yet you have more white people who actually rape, murder, and kill their own people, but the disparity in the judicial system is completely one-sided. That should already tell you that there's something going on, which actually brings me to my next point, which is Donald Trump, which this week, Donald Trump was writing, he was with an author, and I can't think of the name of the actual guy right now, but it really doesn't matter because the guy went on to take Trump in his thoughts, and he asked Donald Trump, who Do you believe that black people have systemic racism and systemic things going on? You know, Donald Trump said, yeah, I know there's things that's going on. So you know the things that's going on, but and you're smart enough to know that these things is going on, but you failed as a leader to acknowledge these things because you're pandering to a fan base. You got an election pandering to a bunch of people who really don't care. You talk about Democrats, and our Democrats don't care about black people, and our Democrats don't do this, and our Democrats don't do that. But yet you're caught on tape knowing that systemic racism and things go on in the community when it comes to black people, but you just don't care. Just like you knew about the health risks and stuff like that of the coronavirus, and you did not care. Yes, do you want people to panic and be up in arms because of this coronavirus? No. But the smart thing to do is say, hey, look, there's a pandemic going on. Let's go ahead and take the necessary precautions up front so we don't have to scramble and figure out the ramifications of it later. No, you turned around knowing that this disease was deadly and told everybody it's a hoax from the Democrats. So in rich white man fashion, to me, you don't care nothing but the bottom line. You don't care nothing about your people. You don't care nothing about the United States, the United States people, the people in the United States. You don't care about black, white, orange, green people. You care about the bottom line and making yourself look good. Let's be honest. You just care about looking good. And ain't nothing wrong with that until it starts affecting people's lives. Now you want to you want to go into this re-election and all of this other stuff, and you want to get ahead of steam. You're gonna have to answer. And it's funny, people say, well, Kamala Harris needs to answer for what she was or what she did as the attorney general of Florida. I mean, I'm sorry, of California. And people say Joe Biden needs to answer for the things he did when it was writing that 94 crime bill. But nobody's answering for what the hell Trump is doing from his base. Nobody's saying anything about this. Yet these are the things that is going on. These are the things that's coming out of his mouth. He said the troops was crazy. They were weak. Yet he said we need to respect our military. We need to respect our flag. See, these are the things that goes on when you actually need to understand the whole political landscape. The whole political landscape is this. Rich white folks run this mug, and they care nothing about you at all. So that brings me to one of my other recaps that I just listened to just last night. Candace Owens versus Cardi B. And I'm going to tell you like this. I love Cardi B because she's authentic. She's herself. And you can love someone who's just going to be themselves. But Cardi, I'm going to tell you like this. When you go up against someone like Candace Owens and you can't articulate the way that you should to be able to go toe-to-toe with her, you're going to look like a midget with no arms fighting Manute Bol. A whole tops. And honestly, Candace bodied you because she's right when she says not that you're not she said you're not intelligent enough to go into the realm of politics. It's not that you're not intelligent enough, you just need to be able to read and combat her on her foolishness. See, the thing is, you're both two sides of the same coin. You're both. Candace Owens panders to the right. She panders to the Trump audience and to the conservative black. You are now pandering to the conservative black, to the liberal black, and to the Democratic Party. That's what you're doing, because obviously you have the interview with Joe Biden, and ain't nothing wrong with that. See, the thing is that there's nothing wrong with someone like Candace Owens pandering to, because we always have that. You're always going to have one black person, or you're going to have more than that, but you're going to always have a black person pandering to each side. You know what I mean? It is what it is in politics. They always get one Negro, and if you don't read The Miseducation of a Negro by Carter G. Woodson, you will never know that. So you got Candace Owens and panders to the right. Candace Owens is a very intelligent, smart black woman. I would never take that away from her. Now, where she messes, where she goes wrong at, where she would not debate against someone on the same level as her, because let's be honest, let Candace Owens go against Rizza Islam. Rizza Islam will body her to death with knowledge. And she knows that she would never go after someone like Rizza Islam, right? She would never go after someone like that. But somebody like Candace Owens, like Cardi B, it's easy. That's not even a fair fight. It's not. And for some strange reason, I kind of like Candace for the fact that the fact that she can put down, she can actually articulate exactly the bull crap that she's going through. You got to be intelligent to actually spew this, the spew what she spews and make it sound good. That's a level, that's intellect. That's not stupidity. That's intellect. And one thing that she said is that she was talking about 94% of black men kill other black men in black neighborhoods, which is absolutely true. She's not lying about that. You go and look at the FBI statistics. That's absolutely true. 94% of black men kill other black men. But what she fails to actually say is that you normally kill what's in your proximity. You don't go outside of your race and kill other people. And the disparity of black men killing white men is nowhere close to black men killing black men. But what she did not say is that 87% of white men and it's climbing kill other white people kill other white people. So if you're talking about that we need more policing and you're saying the Democratic Party is evil, what she also needs to say is that the 94 crime bill was also about more policing on the streets because of crime that was going up, and that was actually executed by the left. So if you're going to say that black people need more policing, you're following the same steps as the Democratic Party and the left in 1994 when the Clinton administration was introducing the crime bill that was actually endorsed by Joe Biden. So that's what you need. See, you need intelligence versus intelligence. You don't need Cardi B to go against Candace Owens. It's not a fair fight. It's absolutely not a fair fight. And do we need more policing in black neighborhoods? You can say that because the only reason why you can say that is because when black people kill other black people, it's perpetrated by the national media and by the local media like it's the worst crime in the history of crimes. But when white people kill other white people, that actually gets a blur under the line. When you go out to places outside of Kansas City, like Smithville, if there's a murder in Smithville, there's a murder in Clinton. If there's a murder in Raymore, if there's a murder in Clay Como, is there a murder in Parkville? Yes, they murder people in those particular places too, but you would never hear it unless it's so completely heinous that you get other white people like, we never have crime like this over here, which you do. But if you never look at the actual statistics, matter of fact, I did this about 4 months ago. When I said, all you have to do is go to kcpd.com, look at the homicide rate. Because when they talk about homicide, every black person's like, oh my God, because they make homicide about you. That is the propaganda that they push. But then when you look at the actual statistics, and then you say, okay, well, and why do we need more policing when they can't even solve the crimes that they already have? When I start talking about the unknown reasons for the actual murder, it's not always a gunshot victim. Do you know vehicular homicide is a version of homicide? But all you hear is homicide. All you hear is, oh, the homicide rate is at 94 people who has died on July so-and-so. Then you're like, oh my God, black people is killing other black people. That's propaganda. See, that's something that I would actually push against Candace Owens if I were debating Candace Owens. Because what I'm going to do is pull out statistics. Now, you can ramble stuff off your head like a preacher on Sunday, but when you start bringing up the actual real life statistics and say, can you speak on that? Can you talk to that Candace Owens? Candace Owens ain't going to have nothing to regurgitate back because she's going to blame the Democratic Party. And that is the strategy that both sides do. I don't listen to CNN because CNN is Fox News for liberals. I don't listen to Fox. I don't really listen to Fox News because Fox News, and I can't stand Tucker Carlson and half of the people that's on there. But when you're going against people like this, you have to be able to have a level of intelligence to be able to combat and debate what she's talking about. And yes, there is crime that goes on, but why is there crime? See, the thing is that you can always talk about the Democratic Party and what they do and what they don't do. Right? You can always talk about the Republican Party and what they do and what they don't do. That's not what I want to hear. What I want to hear is actually solutions. And Candace Owens is smart enough to say, hey, these are the solutions that we can be able to have. But see, the thing is, she's not going to do that because she's a tool for the right. Cardi B is not going to do that because she's now a tool for the left. And she's going, and they're using her to bring in the younger vote. That's it. The younger black vote who don't know nothing about politics. There's your representative right there, Cardi B. And if I'm lying, go back and look at political strategies from each side and tell me that I'm wrong. Now, we just had the Republican National Convention. See, these are the things that people don't watch. Average person don't watch. So you had the Republican National Convention. You got Herschel Walker over in there talking about, oh, I ain't never, and Donald Trump has never been a racist. Man, you was just on this show. You was on The Apprentice. You was bootlicking for Donald Trump, just like Omarosa was. It's no different. There's no difference. We know who's pandering for their base, and they're bringing in black conservatives to pander to other black conservatives that probably feel the same way. And there's nothing wrong about being a conservative. There's nothing wrong about being a liberal. That's what you choose to do. That's what you choose to do. But you need to be smart and to be able to be understanding of what's going on. So when you got a Candace Owens and she's spewing this mess, because every time she spews certain information, it makes me go into research that information and say, okay, so if 94% of black men are killing other black men in here, what do you think is the problem in the neighborhoods? Is it lack of economic income? Because if we all have jobs, we don't have no reason to kill nobody, right? If there was jobs in poor black neighborhoods that actually pay way more than the minimum wage, living wage, instead of the government handing us out money. I mean, you can hand us out money, but how many people are actually going to? This is the problem. You hand people out money that's uneducated and unwilling to learn how to be able to build a successful business, right? Then they fail on their business and they're right back to square one. So why don't you advocate more training and more business training in black inner city neighborhoods and start funding that. How about that? Training facilities for black people to be able to build their own business, build a successful business by other black people in those poor black neighborhoods. Right? How about building funds there? And when Candace Owens start talking about with the left, they want to defund the police. First of all, you're right. That's a left issue. That's liberal white media saying that we need to defund the police. Now, what does defund the police actually mean? That means the funding that they get from military assault rifles and vehicles need to be defunded and actually allocated to trained professionals that could be able to deal with people with mental health issues and with drug abuse issues. There's nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, just in Houston right now, there was I just read, I think 3 police officers was just killed. Just fired. They should be in jail for shooting at a mentally ill patient 21 times. 21 times at a mentally ill patient. That young white boy who was 13, who was shot by the police, 13 years old, he has autism. You're not trained in the police academy to deal with someone with autism. You think everybody's on drugs. That's what they teach you. That everybody's on drugs. When I was a correctional officer back in I want to say this was 2005, I work for the Municipal Correctional Institution that is was the city jail for the Kansas City Police Department, and we were trained by the Kansas City Police Department post 8 training on diffuse a situation where you have to use a technique called verbal judo, and then you actually use police techniques how to be able to subdue an inmate. And one thing that we started having to realize is that uh, the cops was bringing in more people who had mentally ill issues and categorizing them as they were on drugs. So we had a situation at the jail where a mentally ill patient turned around and cold cocked my supervisor. So it's 3 of us, and we're rumbling against a dude who's 6'4", you know what I'm saying, almost 300 pounds, right? We don't have weapons. We don't have no guns. We don't have no tasers. We have walkie-talkie. That's what we had. Pepper spray and a walkie-talkie. Not knowing if this man was just sent to Western Missouri mental health facility in the first place, we wouldn't have had his property. I wouldn't have a whelp on my back for jumping on this dude. I ain't number 5'9". And at that time, I had to be like a $140, trying to jump on this man back, trying to get this man down. And this man pushes me into a back of a steel door where I got this long whelp on my back. But if the cops was trained to be able to handle mental health issues, or they would have had a mental health person on duty, or just like on Ghostbusters. I don't know if y'all remember this, but this is the perfect scene on Ghostbusters. On Ghostbusters, they had a guy, the guy Louis Tully, who got possessed, right? So he got picked up by NYPD. You know where they sent him to? The Ghostbusters. You know what the famous line is on that when they went to go give him to Egon, because Egon was there, and they said, well, you guys are professionals at this. You normally handle this. We thought, instead of sending them to central booking, we thought about sending them to you so you can help them. How easy is that? Right? That's just crazy, right? That's a crazy idea. Just a crazy idea to send someone who you think that maybe having some mental issues, send them down to a place where that's what you can do. That's a solution. So when Candace Owens and Cardi B wants to go back and forth on Twitter or whatever platform they go against, or Instagram or whatever, understand, Cardi, if you're not going to come with knowledge, that woman is going to body you to death because you don't have the actual knowledge to be able to combat the bull crap she's talking about. And that's all I got to say about that. So this is the Friday recap show. Just want to say, I want to say this because Chadwick Boseman was just laid to rest this week, and I want us to take something from Chadwick Boseman's life, just for a second. The man was fighting cancer, but also at the same time visiting people who was fighting too. Not even showing or allowing them to know that I'm dealing with the same thing that you're dealing with, but just showing the humility, right? Showing the humility, a smile, and strength to be able to encourage someone else. So I ask you, encourage someone else today. Encourage someone else, even though you're going through your own stuff, even though you're going through your own problems. Encourage someone today. Give them a smile. Give them something to give them something uplifting to think about. And then that way, even though you're going through, you pour it into someone else, and that's the biggest blessing that you can have. And that is it for the recap. This is your man Dre Mack. Make sure you guys are following me on iHeartRadio, Speaker Radio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, on any streaming platform. All you got to do is just type in the Drake Mack Podcast Show. You can also watch this podcast on YouTube and be able to listen to the audio version. Excuse me, on YouTube. I love y'all. Thank y'all. Peace and shalom to everyone. Have a good rest of your week. I will see you guys on Monday. All right, that's it. That's the end of the audio version of the podcast. If you guys got any more comments, make sure that you put the comments in the comment section. You know how I do it. I do this thing every week, and I think this is the third podcast I did this week. Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that I just do it when I feel like it. So I'm trying to get a podcast on tomorrow. With a team of artists. So trying to get that cracking on tomorrow. I still got to shout them out. Get in contact with them. Prior to I just been working so much and I'm tired. And I've been at work all week. So it is what it is. But I love y'all. Peace and shalom to everyone. I'll let y'all later.